Good day, everyone. Today I'm going to report about the national sports of the Philippines. And our objectives for today is all about to have knowledge to the national sports of the Philippines and know the importance of the sport to the country. The national sports of the Philippines. Yes or yes. So, does any one of you have any idea about the sports, Arnis? And siguro most of the Filipino people are particularly, preferably plays foreign sports just like basketball, badminton, volleyball, soccer, football, and any games that is from other countries. So today I'm going to introduce to you our national sports, arnis. So what is arnis? Okay, arnis is also known as eskrima, kale, garote, and it has a various name from different regional languages such as pananandata in Tagalog, pagkali-kali in Ibanag, kabaraon and kalirungan in Pangasinan, kaliradman in Bisaya, and lidya in Ilocano. So, there, the various names of arnis, and it is a indigenous Filipino martial arts because it was practiced and performed by our forefathers and ancestors. This was used for self-defense, and it is also used as a warfare between tribes and clans from the past. The way they makig-away sila makontra, diba? Wa pa may rifle, wala pa guns, wala pa bomb sa una. So they use arnis as to defend themselves from the people na manakit sa ila. So furthermore, okay, arnis is also characterized by the use of these movements: swinging, twirling, striking, thrusting, and parrying techniques that was used for offense and defense. Okay, arnis. It is done with the use of one or two sticks or any similar implements like sword and dagger. There, and it could be you can play it with the use of your bare hand and fist, and pwede siya gamitin for grappling, blocking, with the use of the same principles as with the use of the similar implements and with the stick. So pwede na mo i-apply ang techniques sa arnis together with the stick sa imong kamot, because ang stick is gamit siya para pang-extend, para maabot ni mo imong kontra. Okay. For the next slide, arnis and how it is done. So in this slide, I'm going to ako isulti ninyo how arnis is done. Unsa ang pag-start, how it played, para namoy knowledge on how to play this. Kanang dili lang brag, something like ganahan ka nga ipakuan sa imong mga amigo. So first is the grip or grippings. One fist away from the ponyo. So when you hold the stick, it must 1 inch away from the ponyo. Ponyo means the butt of the stick. You have to hold the stick 1 inch away from the ponyo or the butt of the stick. Next is pugay. Pugay is paying respect to your opponent, but it is also giving respect to the people who are watching, to the judges, and also to the sports you are playing, to the arnis, that you respect the martial arts, you respect the sports, you respect the how it plays. Next is handa sa paglaban. So after the pugay, then you will going to the on guard stance or the fighting stance. It was called handa sa paglaban. Okay, let's go to the next slide. In this slide, I'm going to show you the 12 basic strikes of arnis. So it is the very basic. The first principle or the basic techniques that you are going to use in in playing arnis. Okay. You can use this as your routine. So first we have left side of the head attack. So as shown in the first picture, you can see there where the stick is pointing. So it is pointed to your opponent, to the right head of your, to the left head of your opponent. So okay, that is number one. Second is, it is the opposite of the first picture, right side of the head attack. So it has a similar principles, like you just swing it and swing to reach the right side of the head of your opponent. Third, we have left side of the body or the torso. So it is also have it's just the same from the number one, but the attack point is in the body. There. And fourth, we have the right side of the body or the torso. It's just the same as the third one, but it is in the opposite. It is in the right side of the body. Fifth, this is the picture of the fourth. As you can see, the left and right has the same body points, but it's just in the opposite side. Okay, the fifth is thrust in the stomach. So it's just simply you just thrusting your opponent in the stomach, and it goes like this. There, as you can see, another fifth. And the sixth, left chest stab. So here. And to the next slide to continue this. The 12 basic strike over this in the 7th. Right chest stab. As you can see in the past slides where number 6 was also a left chest stab, it is also have the same principles as the number 6. So there, the stick is pointing to the chest of your opponent, right side of the chest. And number 8, it is a left lower leg. Okay, we're just going to hit the lower leg part of your opponent, as well as the same in the 9th. There, just the opposite from the number 8. And then in the 10th, left eye poke. There. That 10th is just have the same principles by the number 6 and 7. You're just going to point or attack your opponent in the eye by poking it, as well as the 11, right eye poke. It's just the same from the number 10. And 12, strike to the crown of the head. You're just going to strike your opponent to his temple, so hard temple or in the crown is our head. You're just going to hit there. Okay? So that is the 12 basic strikes of our knees. So in our next slide, I'm going to uh, talk about the modern arnis. They're the modern arnis. So as in this point of time, also arnis is also a developing. It has also development. Like just like us, the modern arnis uh, is also arnis is also developing. Okay, so what is this? So in modern arnis, we have the so-called anyo. What is anyo? So it is a shadow fight. Like you are going to play this with you have a imaginary opponent that you are going to strike and play with it. Like you have to bring all your power and expressions. You have to imagine that you have your opponent in front of you. Okay, so what is anyo? So anyo is the application of all styles learned throughout one's training, and it is performed with a specific weapon, just like the stick, dagger, and or could be bare hands to show the flow of that form. So when you play this, you have to just like the 12 basic strike, you can apply it to the anyo. Okay, so it can be played individually and team. So when you play this, you have to, when you are in a team, in a group, you have to play this synchronously. Okay? And Anyo requires certain proficiency, I mean, proficiency of beat, tempo, timing, agility, and most of all, the diwang panlaban or the fighting spirit. As I said earlier, you have to play it like you have your actual opponent. You have to bring your power, like you have the just like kanang parang nakay kaaway nga ganahan mo siya sumbagon ana, you have to play it also nga naadjud kay kontra, like the expressions of your face, the shouting, the way you move is like a you have your own opponent that is in front of you that you want to kanang ganahan kang kabalus something ana. Okay. Okay, to continue with, let's proceed to the next slide. So it is the Republic Act 9850, wherein the declaration of the arnis as the national sports of the Philippines. So it tells here the official adaptation of arnis as the national martial art and sport shall be promulgated by the inscribing the symbol of arnis in the seal of the Philippine Sports Commission, and by making it as the first sport competition to be played by participating teams on the first day. To continue, in the annual Parlarong Pambansa, the Philippine Sports Commission shall be the lead agency to implement the provision of this act. So, here is klaro kaayo na ang arnis is a national sport of the Philippines, and for more um, para na mo'y iba na source, you can also search the Republic Act 9850, and you will see there how a arnis is a national sports of the Philippines. Ito suportahan Let's proceed. So in this slide, arnis of the Philippines. Why is it important sa ato country? Ang arnis. So, arnis serves as a symbol and representation. Okay, let's proceed to the next slides, and it is all about the Republic Act 9850, wherein the declaration of arnis as the national sports of the Philippines. Okay, the official adaptation of arnis as the national martial art and sport shall be promulgated by inscribing the symbol of arnis in the seal of the Philippine Sports Commission and by making it as the first sport competition to be played by participating teams on the first day. And next slide is continuation. In the annual Palarong Pambansa, the Philippine Sports Commission shall be the lead agency to implement the provision of this act. Okay, so narito, klaro kayo discuss about sa arnis as a national sports of the Philippines. So next slide is arnis of the Philippines. Why is it ganong matabang mo siya? What is importance of the sports in our country? Okay, arnis serves. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Arnis serves as a symbol and representation for the Filipino culture. It incorporates all the important and cultural and historical values that Filipinos continue to carry and use in their everyday lives. Arnis is considered as most authentic sports, okay, because it is practiced with pride and dignity. It needs both mind, body, and spirit to practice, especially the discipline in using it. So, diba, katong sa past slides na to na nakabutang nga, whenever ka mo play, you have to pugay. So, whenever especially when you're meeting your opponent, you have to pugay. The bowing or paying respect, meaning the paying respect to your opponent and to everyone who is watching you, and most importantly to the trainer, okay, to the one who brought the sport here, the master or something, the ones who taught you that you have to respect, you have to pugay. So, okay, playing arnis also shows patriotism, nationalism, and give appreciation for our ancestors and national heroes. Okay, so anong important man siya? Since it is practiced and played by our ancestors and national heroes, nadi ay question. Kesa national hero rather that gamit o karnis as a used for self-defense. Do you have an idea? So, ang sa'yo si Lapu-Lapu. Sa ako, si Lapu-Lapu. He defeated Ferdinand Magellan with the use of arnis martial arts, like swinging of his sword or bolo. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Okay, there are also researchers study shows that although arnis has been implemented by physical education courses, it has not been correctly regulated or fully implemented by the instructors nor the school itself. Okay, So, para ninyo, kanus aman na naka-play o arnis. So, way back in my high school, may arnis, but wala siya kayo na focus kay na may uban like sa PE, diba? So, as arnis being created in the Philippines, I'm hoping na untang mudaghan ang practitioners and could give more attention not just to have more practitioners but to spread the Filipino cultures that it contains. So, if for me, if arnis was properly developed, it has the ability to compete with other martial arts and attain more popularity around the world. So, that is why, moto ang importansya sa amin. So, kung ato lang, paano nang ano ba, at our own culture, embrace na to. Siguro, there are more foreigners or nga engage po sa ato sports. And lastly, tangkilikin ang sariling atin. Thank you for listening. Ang daghan mo na kuha na lesson, daghan mo na learn, sa akong topic. Thank you. So here are the references.